All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special one-shot episode of the Walrus and Comics Sports Report podcast. Brett, we're doing something a little differently today. We've got actually some video footage because for some reason I figured out that we can actually use technology in the right way.
I would have never figured it out. I can't figure out technology, but we got video, and we're sitting close enough for our dicks to touch.
That's right.
You know?
Let me put my arm on your leg
Woo!
here. They can't see it, but you can see my hand
Sports
moving.
are ready.
And you know what's really cool is we have this opportunity to talk about one of the most exciting NFL off seasons I can remember, or at least that I care about personally.
Greatest free agency of all time, I think.
I mean,
Give me a better one that you have heard of.
I mean, I can't even remember one being as good as this because there were so many different high profile and big name players out there to be received by other teams, to be traded, to be just signed as free agents. And this is an awesome thing to be able to cover right now for the podcast. So what would you say, first of all, who's the most exciting sign besides Tom Brady? Because I think we're going to talk about his signing, but who's the favorite signee for you right now?
Well, for me, I guess Teddy Bridgewater, because Carolina. And I think that's a good signing, but I guess like impact wise, like what changes, who's going to the playoffs, who's going to the Super Bowl, who's going blah blah blah. Yeah. Phillip Rivers.
To
the Colts.
All right, so I will harp on what you said. I was really big about the Teddy Bridgewater signing. Here's the thing. Carolina fans, I think you are, if you're disillusioned like I think you are, Cam Newton's not the answer anymore. This new administration is ready to move on from him. They're ready to take a step forward, and the way you do that is you get rid of the players that you've had there for a while. That's typically what most teams try to do because it's a fresh start. They're used to the old regime, and when a new regime comes in, sometimes it's easier just to hit the reset button. I like Teddy Bridgewater a lot.
Yeah.
He is probably one of my favorite NFL players. And that comes from his time as a Viking in the organization. Yeah. I thought he was the next big thing for the Minnesota Vikings.
Should have been.
He blew his knee out. And it was a freak thing. It was non-contact. The non-contact injuries are always the worst, which is crazy when you think about it. It's not like, I could punch you in the face right now. And yeah, it's going to hurt you. But it wouldn't hurt you as much as you just like falling down, like dislocating your kneecap. And that's, man, for me, the Teddy Bridgewater signing, it's only made possible because Drew Brees was out this year for the New Orleans Saints. And what's really cool is he came in. You could tell the first game Teddy Bridgewater was a little nervous. Really the first action he's seen since he was a Minnesota Viking. He's just sitting there making his paycheck and getting that backup money. And he gets out on the field, and he takes the New Orleans Saints 5-0 and keeps them in playoff contentions, which is really big when you think about it because nobody expected the Saints to be able to make the playoffs when Drew Brees went down.
Yeah, and he performed just as almost in some spots outperformed him, Drew Brees. In some spots.
But I think what Teddy Bridgewater does well is he can make those little small throws. Yeah. He can manage a game for you, which is why I can understand why some people feel like, man, maybe they're being too cautious and bringing him in. But Teddy Bridgewater also has the ability to throw the ball down the field. He just didn't do it as much as Drew Brees because, quite frankly, it's Drew Brees.
Yeah.
All right? Jameis Winston tried to be Drew Brees and see what that got him.
Well, what you got to do now with a game manager, now that you're going to have just a game manager, and we've talked about the difference between elite quarterbacks and game managers, what you got to do now that it is a game manager, do not get rid of Christian McCaffrey because Teddy Bridgewater is going to need Christian McCaffrey.
I'm so afraid that they're actually going to make that move, though. Just think about it. They're probably thinking, all right, we can get rid of McCaffrey. Running backs historically don't last as long as other players in the league because of the contact they take. Now, I know you're going to kind of rebut that point with another point, but let's just be frank that what we've seen is year after year they wear down. If you can trade Christian McCaffrey and get a first round this year, a first round next year, and like a fourth or a fifth round, like a fourth this year and a fifth next round, next year, I think that's something you seriously consider doing. Now, I wouldn't get rid of him for less than 2 first rounders. Like, I think he's that important to the team, and I think he can be that important to another team.
I would always be careful giving anything for a running back that I think could potentially be a top 5 running back in the top 10 at least all time, because I don't know, there are few running backs we've seen, to your point of contact, there are few running backs we've seen that can slip tackles like he does and not take those direct hits.
He's really good.
The man doesn't get hit.
Yeah, he's really good at getting to the outside and getting in those places. And they've done a pretty decent job of not running him between the tackles. I think that's the big thing. Christian McCaffrey, if you're him, his pride's probably saying, man, I just want to go between the tackles, make those big plays.
Even when he does, I've seen him just slip right between the tackles and go for 50 yards.
And I think that's the benefit he has. He's very muscular, but he's kind of compact, right?
We've seen him run over linebackers and linemen. We've seen him do it.
Yeah.
And it would surprise you because he's not a huge man, but, I mean, he has just destroyed linemen. And, like I've said, he just runs over people that you wouldn't think he'd be able to.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to see there might be some breaking news for it.
Horrible decision if they do. I don't care what they get for it.
I know. But I feel like it's just something possibility of happening. Now, maybe he's played his cards right and he stayed quiet about the whole Cam Newton situation and he's just there to play football. And maybe they say, hey, we're going to keep him. And you have Teddy Bridgewater and then you have him. I think at that point, what Carolina really needs is a wide receiver. Somebody who can kind of stretch the field. We've been seeing a lot of, well, not a lot, but in instances where the draft has allowed you to fill that wide receiver void. And there's a guy from Alabama that's coming out this year. Is it Ruggs? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
There are some people who can stretch the field if you want to do it that way. But I'm sure there will be some free agents available that are wide receivers. But, man, you got to have a threat for these guys. You got to have another safety outlet. Honestly, what are we going to do at tight end? How do you feel about the tight end situation of the Carolina Panthers right now?
I wanted them to try to go for Hayden Hurst. I was thinking they should have tried to make that deal to get Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
To get a young tight end that was good and we knew he could play, but they didn't. So I think they've needed a wide receiver for a couple of years now. So I think that's what you draft, and maybe try to get a tight end on your next pick. But a tight end is probably second priority for the Panthers right now.
Yeah.
I would look in free agency to see what's available.
I think when you look at most NFL teams, it kind of goes like this. If you don't have a quarterback, your quarterback's your priority, right? Because that's the driving force of your team most of the time. Then second off is offensive line. Now, the Panthers have been kind of giving away assets. They traded some key pieces, or at least one key piece on the offensive line. But what we see is it goes like quarterback, offensive line, and then a lot of times the trend is tight end and then wide receiver. The Panthers might be in a situation where they need everything.
I think they need to go wide receiver first with the offense they'll have.
I know, but we don't think like these executives do. And that's why I think you might see Christian McCaffrey shipped off. Because you can get 1 or 2 first-round picks for him, then that's all right. You can live with a middle-of-the-road running back. We've seen teams do that all the time. The New England Patriots lived with middle-of-the-road running backs. Yeah. Guys that could just catch passes.
But look who they had. Run. You're not going to have that guy in the pocket.
I know. But Teddy Bridgewater can make those same type of short throws. I mean, Tom Brady, he has the ability to stretch the field, but he's more of a mid-range quarterback. He's just really smart. Yeah, he's really smart at reading defenses. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have that ability to do it, but you've got to have the threats. I could see them trading Christian McCaffrey and then picking up like a offensive lineman, tight end first round. Because what we see is a lot of times the second and third, fourth round receivers are really what kind of, ends up being the solid point of your team, especially on that attack and that side of the ball. But I think they probably have a lot more issues to kind of resolve holistically as a team. But I don't know. I'm really excited about the Bridgewater signing. I actually had one of my fraternity brothers, his wife, she messaged me on Messenger last night. She's like, "Hey, what do you think about this signing by the Carolina Panthers going after Teddy Bridgewater?" Because she knows I'm a Viking fan and knows I'm a really big fan of him. And I was like, I think it's a perfect signing. I think it's time. Like Cam Newton, listen, I don't want to make it sound like critical of him as a person, because Cam Newton does a lot for the area of Charlotte. 100% stand-up guy, does a lot for the kids.
He was good for Carolina.
He's good. He was good for that. He was a Carolina type of person.
But he was good for Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, I think his time had... Like, it's just, you get to a point where it's done. Like, you can't go any further.
Yeah. And I think he'll have a better chance somewhere. Just imagine, like, what if the Patriots, like, trade for him? You know, like...
You know where I think he's going. Me and you have talked about it a lot.
Yeah. We'll let the people know who are going to listen and watch the podcast, though.
The Chicago Bears can use Cam Newton like I think no other team in the NFL can use him.
Can I say this, though? The defenses in the NFC in that division are good. They hit hard. Ask your boy Aaron Rodgers.
But you get Cam
the Minnesota
Newton.
Vikings.
Cam Newton gives you more options than Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins gives you.
But Cam Newton takes a lot of hits. He takes a ton of hits. I don't think his body is going to be able to do that. Now, if Cam Newton's going to reinvent himself and be a pocket quarterback, like, he can't be Russell Wilson.
No.
Like, he can't do that anymore. If so, he's not going to make it.
Right.
He can't be Lamar Jackson. He's not as fast as him.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to have to redefine himself as a player to really be able to do that. Now, if you're the Chicago Bears, I would take anyone over Mitchell Trubisky. I would probably actually take Jameis Winston.
Take Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Talking about taking people over stuff, I was in a chat on Facebook last night, and they're talking about different players. And where do you rate Matt Ryan? Because, like, is he a tier
Not in the top
1?
10 for me.
But is he a tier 1 quarterback in the current league, or is he a 2 or a 3 in the current league?
Lower 2.
Lower 2?
Lower 2 to me.
Now, why? All right, I'm not going to say he's tier 1. I think he's upper tier 2.
Upper tier
maybe
2.
Lower. He might could stretch into lower tier 1. The guy's only 34 years old. He has a lot of time to be able to get better or do more stats. But he's already in the top 10 of different categories.
I think once you're 34 years old, you still have a lot of time to do what you've been doing. But I don't think you have a lot of time to increase and hit your apex. I think you've hit it at 34.
I mean,
I think once you're 34, we've seen what we're going to see from you. And what we've seen from Matt Ryan is a fine game manager. Yeah. A guy who has always had wide receivers that could get the job done.
Julio Jones, Roddy White. Roddy White was probably one of my more favorite Falcon receivers for a while. I think I liked playing with him on Madden. I would always trade for him because he was easy to get off of the Falcons for some reason. But I enjoyed watching him. He's had really good tight ends. Hooper, he's gone, signed away by the Cleveland Browns.
Even with the weapons that he had, he was mistake prone. He was interception prone.
Now, okay, I'd have to look at the numbers. I don't know what his total career interception numbers are, but I mean, I don't think you can blame the Super Bowl loss on him.
No.
You're up 28 points.
Yeah, no.
Your coach totally changes his game plan. Now, with that question, I'm gonna interrupt you here. How much, do winning titles to you? Like, whenever a person wins a title, does that make them more qualified for the Hall of Fame, or like should someone who has never won a championship be inducted in the Hall of Fame? Because that's the question here. If this guy plays another 6 years till he's 40, and he's over 500 quarterback, like winning you like 8 to, you want more than 8, excuse me, because 8's, I'm thinking college football now. But if he wins you 12 to 14 games a season for 6 years, I mean, listen, guy, at that point, I feel like he's been effective for, almost 2 decades. Does that qualify him for the Hall of Fame, or does he have to have the title to do that?
No, I've never been a fan. I think one Super Bowl doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I think one championship doesn't make a difference on whether you're Hall of Fame worthy or not. I think a guy who has never been to, because getting to Super Bowls is hard to do.
Yeah.
Winning Super Bowls is hard to do because you have to have a whole team. You got to have the complete package.
Yeah.
So and like it can, but even then it can happen for any team. Any team can get a hot streak and they can get it done. A good team. So one championship for me has never been like the mark of a good anybody for a Hall of Fame. Like just one ring, because give or take, you on a good year you could get one on a, and just you never could reach it. Some quarterbacks never could reach it that are great.
Yeah.
So one championship has never really done it for me. I think if somehow he wins 2 over the rest of his career, he makes it. But I think quarterbacks, any player should be able to make the Hall of Fame without a championship.
Well, I think part of the Hall of Fame is just purely a popularity contest. You know, I think you had to have kissed the right butts to really get yourself in the position to be in there, or just been so overwhelmingly good that they have to put you there, because no one wants that criticism of you not putting someone there who deserves to be there. But how much stock do you put in? This is something I was thinking about last night. The Falcons, I think, only have 9 players in the Hall of Fame. All right? How much stock do you put into like people deciding to put players in the Hall of Fame based upon the fact that, you know what, they were probably one of the best in their position on that team, and that team doesn't have a lot of players in the Hall. So maybe does it make it an easier pathway for him to get there?
Yeah.
Because technically,
I
the
can
only
see that.
quarterback I think they have in the Hall of Fame that was a Falcon was Brett Favre.
Yeah, I can see that. He's not a Falcon.
He's not a Falcon.
He's
exactly.
not a Falcon.
But he was drafted there, and they
You watch your mouth when you're talking about Brett Favre.
Hey, listen. But I'm saying, like, if you go Google how many Falcon players are in the NFL Hall of Fame, it's going to say 9, and one of the names you'll read is Brett Favre, and then Deion Sanders, all right, and then the other people I didn't really know. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it's easier? It would be easier for him to get in the Hall of Fame if he just continues playing above average football.
Yeah.
You know, like, you think he's going to make it?
Yeah, I think he will. I wouldn't vote for him to be in.
No. Well,
but,
you're a Panther fan though. So some of your bias.
Don't you bring me into fan bias.
Listen, there will be fan bias there, and you know that happens with voters. There's going to be bias. So you know you get to watch Matt Ryan play against you guys twice a year, right? And that how the division's set up, where you go there once and they go to you guys once.
I can tell you with one Super Bowl loss and an MVP, Cam Newton has not come close to Hall of Fame yet. He has to do a ton more. He's not close.
Yeah, but he also has been so injury prone. Matt he's a guy that typically doesn't get that injured.
And he still doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but he plays more consistent. You're telling me right now, if the Carolina Panthers had not signed Teddy Bridgewater, and you had the opportunity to trade for Matt Ryan, or Matt Ryan hit free agency, you would not want him starting for your team over Teddy Bridgewater?
No. I thought you weren't going to give me a choice there. I thought you were just going to ask me, would I take Matt Ryan? And I was going to say, well, if we don't have a quarterback, of course I would take Matt Ryan. But now that you're giving me a choice between Matt Ryan and Teddy Bridgewater, I'm taking Teddy Bridgewater over Matt Ryan.
First off, I want to tell you, I'm a generous teacher, and I like to give choices. Okay, I didn't want to box you in there.
I don't like short answer tests.
But I wanted to give you the opportunity to say whether or not you take them. I'm going to be honest with you. As much of a Teddy Bridgewater fan I am, I would take Matt Ryan.
You're wrong. You'd end up upset. You'd end up a sad man with no rings.
I would take the chance of having a guy who can win me 12 games or more a year, who's done it for a significant period of time, versus a guy who I think has the ability to make the throws, has the ability to get you first downs, and you never know the knee condition.
You are taking a guy. What you telling me? I would rather take. I just saw him go 5-0. I think he can win.
Yeah.
He had a good team around him. We have a good team we could put around him. We think he could win, and the knee is a question, but he possibly has an entire career ahead of him.
Yeah.
We can take a young guy, or we can take a guy who's 34, who's been doing it a long time, and we know he can get us to the first round of the playoffs and then go back home.
Would you rather get to the first round of the playoffs or not get there at all? Because what happens? Teddy Bridgewater signed. Game 3 of the NFL season.
That's the chance I'm taking over Matt Ryan.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, I don't think I could do that.
Because it's what I don't know versus what I do know.
Yeah.
What I think I know about Teddy Bridgewater is he is good and he's got more growth to be great. That's what I think I know. What I do know about Matt Ryan is he's all right.
I think he's more than all right, man. All right, let's think about this. Okay, here we go. Let's look at quarterbacks in the NFL. Okay,
we'll go head to head.
Let's go. Let's just hit some of these and let's think about it. All right, so we're not going to talk about the Buccaneers because they got their guys. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. All right. Miami Dolphins. Would you rather have Matt Ryan as your quarterback or the guy you currently have, Fitzpatrick?
I think they're equal quarterbacks, but I'll take Matt Ryan.
There's no.
I think that's what Matt Ryan is close to. I think that's the type of quarterback he is. I'm glad you said that name.
I think no. I think Fitzpatrick's very boom bust. I think Matt Ryan, you know what you get, and I can't compare those two guys being like there. I have to totally disagree with that.
All
right. So we got the Miami Dolphins. All right, they're in the. You would take that over it.
I'm taking Matt Ryan.
The Tampa Bay Bucks were saying no because they got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints were saying no because they got Drew Brees. All right.
I'm taking Teddy Bridgewater.
You're taking Teddy Bridgewater over him, but I'm taking him over Teddy. Okay. That's where I would go with that. The New York Jets.
Matt Ryan, because I can't even remember who they have.
Yeah, so we got Matt Ryan there with the Jets. All right, what about the New York Giants? Daniel Jones or Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
I would do that too.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
100%. The Washington Redskins.
Matt Ryan.
All right. The Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen.
You say Josh Allen? I'll take Matt Ryan
over
Josh Allen. All right. So now let's put a pause there because I think what's tough about this is sometimes from this mindset, what I think about is fantasy football numbers. Josh Allen had tremendous upside on fantasy football, but once again, I just don't know if he. I think Matt Ryan can make more plays than him. I think disagree with you there.
I think what this is proven. I see what we're trying to do with it, but you know what I think this little test has proven?
What's it proven?
How many below-average quarterbacks are in the NFL right
100%.
now? The lack of quarterbacks we have in the NFL.
People,
that's what this is proven.
But people complain about the XFL and their crappy quarterbacks.
Yeah, this is what this is proven to me.
There's a reason why Tom Brady continuously won his division. Because, all right, he competed with Joe Flacco, right? Or no, in the AFC and Joe. All right, let's look at, so it was the Patriots and it was the Miami Dolphins who had Ryan Tannehill before. Who else is in that division? The New York Jets. All right, they've never. Tom Brady has made his living playing against crappy quarterbacks. And
their division is the Patriots, the Jets, the Dolphins.
Who's
that 14?
I can't remember. Is it the Bills? Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
It's the Buffalo Bills.
That's why. Yeah, when you tell me. I
the greatest quarterback of all time played no good quarterbacks.
Nobody. And you know what? When Carolina's defense, I think Cam Newton got the opportunity to play New England twice. Once in Carolina, I think once in Foxborough. Yeah. You know what his record was against that Patriots team? 2-0.
Man.
But there was not a lot of defenses in history like the Panthers had either.
And Cam Newton also had tremendous upside, and he was utilized.
The defense took him The defense took that whole team a long way.
That defense was good.
I think Luke Kuechly has done enough for Hall of Fame.
Ooh. Maybe Panthers Ring of Honor.
Hall of Fame. I could see.
He's definitely there.
Because when it first happened, I said that sucks. He's not going to make it. Yeah. He hadn't done enough. Was my first reaction. Then I started looking. I think he's been in the Pro Bowl maybe every year but one. I think he
dynamic player.
I mean, he's had playoff moments.
You know who he reminded me of? One of my favorite Panther players from my childhood, Dan Morgan.
Okay.
I was a huge Dan Morgan fan. Linebacker, hit super hard. Also had a head problem though.
Luke Kuechly could have been one of the greatest middle linebackers of all time.
Yeah.
But now I can't put him on the list because he didn't do enough. He didn't have enough time.
Could you imagine Ray Lewis in his prime Luke Kuechly in his prime, those teams going against each other. Could you imagine the hard-hitting affair there? I was a big Thomas Davis fan for the Panthers too. Like I thought
he was good.
I thought he sold out for the organization.
Yep.
I thought they probably should have signed him one more time. He went somewhere else for a year.
Those two
they were
fun to watch on the same defense.
100%.
Not a ball carrier in the NFL could get away from them.
It's like when you used to watch the Atlanta Braves and you had Andrew Jones in the outfield, and you had who else was in the outfield? Was Chipper Jones in the outfield at the same time with him? Didn't they play at the same time?
Yeah, they played at the same time.
Yeah. And
I'm wondering if he was third base or if he was in the outfield at that time.
In the beginning, with Andrew Jones, I believe he was outfield.
Okay.
I think third base came towards the twilight after Andrew was gone. But yeah, it's kind of like that type of thing, right? You see this star-studded defense. I love heavy-hitting defenses. I love defensive players. I also do like scoring a lot, but there's so much opportunity.
That too, we've never talked about that. Is like what type of games we like. I think I'm different from a lot of NFL and MLB fans in that, like, if I could see a 6-3 game, I would love it every time.
Really?
I love
if I could
MLB.
See MLB or football.
Football. If I could see a 6-3 game, I would love it every time.
So you're saying if you just saw like a 1-run game every time, you'd be happy? And
like a 2-1, just a good pitching matchup, I would be there for it. I love good defense.
Do I need to do that again?
Oh yeah, I know it's ridiculous, but
that is totally ridiculous. I 100% like to see home runs.
I am there for defense.
I want to see like.
I wish.
I want to see every game be for the Atlanta Braves the opposite of when the Cardinals came in. So like, what the Cardinals put 12 runs on the first, I want to see the Braves do that every first inning to someone.
People think I'm insane, but I wish. Like, I like baseball now. I like where we have baseball now.
Yeah.
But man, I would have loved to seen just good 80s baseball. Just get your utility men in the lineup, do what they have to. Bunt, just small ball. I love it.
There's nothing wrong with small ball. Like, I can see it. The South Carolina Gamecocks made a living on their national championships with small ball. The suicide squeeze. Man. Probably one of the most exciting plays in baseball.
We went before the season got canceled. We went to a walk-ball scrimmage.
Yeah. And
they had a player, 6'4", I think on his roster it said maybe 240. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He laid down a bunt.
I remember watching that, and he hustled it out too, right?
That is what I love.
And the look on the pitcher's face was like, you got to be kidding me, because
everybody was leaned back, waiting on him to hit a hard ball to somebody, and he bunts it, and nobody could run to it because they were on their heels.
You know what I liked the most about that game? The fact they were using wooden bats.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Nothing, I will say, there's not much in sports better than the sound of a wooden bat, a ball off of a wooden bat.
The crack it makes?
Yeah.
Definitely beautiful. So, going back, so we know there are a ton of teams that would take Matt Ryan over. And that's why I stick him in the upper tier 2, lower tier 1. Because I think over half your teams would rather have him as their quarterback.
Again, I got to say, I think that says more about the lack of quarterbacks than it does him.
Well, I know. But we were talking the other day about UFC and different champions making their livelihood.
Daniel Cormier.
Daniel Cormier.
Daniel Cormier is Matt Ryan.
Yeah. But does it take away from Daniel Cormier's his achievements? The fact that he was a product of a time period where there were no good people in that division?
It doesn't, but that's not to say that it shouldn't. That's not to say if we don't sit down and think about it, we could say, is he as great as his resume looks? Probably not. And Matt Ryan's resume doesn't look that good as it is right now.
But could it be, in fact, that Matt Ryan's resume does not look as good as it could be because he's played in a time period with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, a bunch of really big name quarterbacks that have been in the league, Drew Brees, that have been in the league so long that maybe his numbers don't look as good because we're used to these cartoon numbers.
That could have something to do with it.
Because look at Patrick Mahomes right now. like if you ask me, the best quarterback in the league right now is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
And
Mahomes plays like somebody's at home on a TV playing with a
It
controller.
looks like it would be if I was
killing
beating you on
people.
Madden right
Yeah, I
now.
mean,
You
he
wouldn't be able to catch.
destroys people.
Yeah. So
You're not that good at Madden either.
Like
but,
I just feel like it's we just don't appreciate people enough because we're comparing them to other people. It's kind of like if you have a girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
And you have a girlfriend, and this, as Nick would say it if he was here, this 10 walks by you.
A moment of silence for the man.
Yeah,
All right, let's go.
Yeah, but a 10 walks past you, and you're talking to your girlfriend, and you stop, and you're like,
yeah.
And then she slaps you in the face to kind of bring you back to reality.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes we kind of just, all right, like if I say who are your best wide
God, could you imagine having a Matt Ryan girlfriend? Huh? Shoot me in the face, right?
Wait, above average? Above average?
Average.
No, above average. Above average.
Shoot me in the head.
You know what you're getting. There's no crazy. Like you either know she's crazy or she's not crazy. Like, it's a safe bet. Everybody loves a safe bet.
Everybody loves a safe bet.
Ryan is a safe bet.
He's a safe bet to take me to the first round of the playoffs and go home. How many times did he get eliminated in the first round in his career?
However, if he plays the same consistent football he's playing to get you to the first round, if their defense was better, it'd carry you to the NFC title game.
I don't know. I think I could be wrong. They could have won a game, but before the year they went to the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure he was like 0-5, 0-6 in playoffs.
Listen, there's a lot of people who are bad in the playoffs. A lot of
That's
people.
6 times of him going one and done.
Yeah, but how hard is it to win in the playoffs? It's tough. It is a tough job. I wouldn't want to be the quarterback. You take all the blame. But I just think he's a safe bet for
Didn't Teddy Bridgewater play in playoffs?
Oh, Jesus. Why'd you have to ask me that now? Now I'm going to look like I'm not a Vikings fan. I do...
For the Saints last year, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No, it was the other guy.
Yeah, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, they alternated them in and out.
I'm surprised nobody went for Taysom Hill.
Well, I think he's a restricted free agent. So if you sign him, you have to give us a second-round player.
Yeah.
That's what's
keeping him there. That'll do it.
He'll be the backup again this year, but he'll be gone next year. I don't think he sticks around.
He's backing up for one more year.
Yeah, he said that he wants to play quarterback. He said he'll do whatever the Saints ask him to, but his dream is to be a quarterback, and that he says that people know his abilities to be a quarterback. We'll see how that goes. I mean, Drew Brees might get hurt again, and it might be his time at that point. It might be like when Tom Brady took over for the New England Patriots, right? Injury happens, it's the end of the old man, and new guy takes over. That could be the position he's in. Teddy Bridgewater, you know what? Congratulations for playing out of your mind for 5 games and getting a contract worth playing the game for.
For becoming in 5 games a better option than Matt Ryan, congratulations, Teddy Bridgewater.
Come on now. You're just being too critical. Hopefully my friend...
I am not being critical as a Panthers fan because
my friend who is a Falcons fan, hopefully he watches this and he understands that I'm trying to do justice by Matt Ryan here.
You know how much fan bias...
You are undercutting Matt Ryan because you're a Panthers fan.
You know how much fan bias drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't do it. I don't partake in it.
Whatever. So, the question is, are we going to go see a Panther game this year now so I can see Teddy Bridgewater play?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's all I wanted to know.
They play Tom Brady at home.
That game ticket is probably going to be so expensive.
No, they play them twice. They play them, and we are Charlotte, Tampa. They play them twice.
We'll go to one of them wherever we can get the cheapest ticket, I guess. Because, that's going to be an expensive ticket. Tom Brady's going to bring... Listen, when the Minnesota Vikings came to play in Charlotte, when Adrian Peterson was a running back, the tickets were like $450 for upper deck or something. No, it was $250 upper deck and then $450 lower bowl, and then it was a lot more closer to the sidelines. But I am down to see my boy Teddy B play a game for the Panthers.
All right.
I don't care. It is for the Panthers. That's fine. But you know what? He deserved that contract. So if you're a Panther fan and you're like, no, he didn't, shut your mouth,
Yeah.
jabroni.
What are you doing out here?
That's right.
So, what we know. Also, talking about wide receivers. Damn, I wish I would have known. I wish the Panthers would have known the Texans were just giving them away.
Hey, I wish
they were just throwing wide receivers overboard.
Man,
Top 3 wide receivers. Just
I would have been fine with the Vikings being like, hey, we'll trade you Stephon Diggs for Hopkins. I would have been fine with that trade. That could have been a straight up trade.
They would have traded a picture. They apparently would have traded a picture of Stephon Diggs for him.
Exactly. Like, here's the thing.
I'll let you think about Stephon Diggs for 2 days if you'll give us.
Yeah,
and they would have said, yeah, that's fair.
Sure. What I've heard is Hopkins was causing a lot of drama in the locker room basically because he wanted a contract extension. He was like 3 years away from it, I believe, or 2 years away from it. And he wanted a ton of money. And that's all he kept talking about and kept distracting.
Yeah, get out of here.
And so it was time to get rid of him.
Get out of here.
So they took on the contract of David Johnson, which is a little high, to be honest with you.
But you know what I also see?
You know the type of person you get with him.
But you know what I also see?
What?
Me wanting more money and Kirk Cousins getting it.
Well, Stephon Diggs, his issue wasn't the actual contract. His was he's a premature prima donna who just
he's got that premature problem.
premature.
He got that premature problem.
He's got the Brett Howard problem there. But no,
he can only go 2 yards and then he's got to take a knee, huh?
No,
all right.
Actually, he can stretch the field, but
okay.
His problem is the fact that he's all right. This is something we can talk about that people might actually really appreciate. He spoke out against his starting quarterback after he got the extension. That's why he's gone. He made a tweet that says, "Get me out of here."
I mean, I get it. You don't want problems in the team. You gotta be a team player. But if you're not wrong, Jesus Christ, Kirk Cousins.
Hey, we could have got Teddy Bridgewater. 30 mil, I would have taken it.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe I'll send a call to the Vikings front office and say, hey, why don't you ship out Kirk Cousins back to the Washington Redskins and just give it to him? Just pay the salary and just pick up some random person and play with Walker from the XFL.
No.
Give him a contract. You know.
I think I'm going to lose another finger.
Oh, no. Why?
I burnt my thumb cooking a pizza in the oven.
Yeah.
And it was on like the rack long enough when I reached in to grab it. It was on the rack long enough for it to start making a
so you're going
sound.
To lose a finger?
So
you're seeing it live here in picture. Brett is going to go from 9 fingers to 8 fingers. But they're on separate hands, so he'll be 4 and 4.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate. That's very good. It's okay. If you're out there listening and watching on our video here, if you want to buy Brett a set of brand new hands, like maybe like the big Hulk ones you can put over there so he can like Hulk smash everything and he can feel good about the size of his hands, please reach out to us in a comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
We can send you a mailing address where you can actually deliver a set of Hulk hands, and it'll make this kid his dream come true. All right? So
do that.
Please reach out to us and do that. All right, let's talk about the real reason we're here. Right? All right, there's some quarantine you. I'm gonna have to leave soon. You know, I'm not supposed to be around people. You do it again, I'm gonna punch you in the face. No. All right, so it's like you're about to sneeze. You say mayonnaise. You sneeze. All right, but here's a real reason. There were some really big signings that happened this week. I think the first one. We're going to save the best for last.
Oh, yeah, we are.
But the first one we should talk about is Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
And him signing a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Indianapolis Colts.
Makes them an 11-5 team.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Wins the division.
Sounds pretty good if I'm a Colts fan.
Mark it down.
All right, so, and what if, this could be a trial year for him. They could just, after this, say, hey, we'll extend you 2 years.
I mean,
obviously
I think
that's what it is. I think it's him coming out and saying, I want to give it a go.
If he doesn't have a good year, he retires. If he has a good year, he keeps going.
Yeah. And his legacy in no way is impacted by this because he's never won a Super Bowl anyways. Yeah. But he's been...
Which I do think I just got done saying that not winning a championship doesn't affect you 1-0. But I think this one does because he had a team around him where he should have got it done in times in his career. Well, Matt Ryan did too.
I mean, everyone who's had that opportunity, who's been to the big dance, has had the team.
Yeah, but I don't think 1-0 makes a difference.
I mean,
do you? I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
I mean, do you put Phillip Rivers in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Why? What makes him more qualified than Matt Ryan?
Doesn't he have the most? No, Tom Brady has the most wins.
Wait, you were talking about statistics here, and you said that doesn't matter.
When did I say statistics doesn't matter?
Like you're talking, like we're saying, like just overall, like like touchdown passes, completion percentage, all these things. If numbers matter like that,
no, he doesn't.
Then Matt Ryan's
he doesn't. They both had interception problems.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
But
all right?
Listen,
I caught myself.
All right, can you deny? Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. One way or the other, if he goes in the Hall of Fame or doesn't, I'm fine with it. Either way, if he goes in, I can say, you know what? He was an above-average quarterback who played the game a long time. I think longevity should have some role in this.
3 quarterbacks, I believe, shouldn't get in and will.
Okay.
Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning.
Eli Manning's won Super Bowls. 2 of them against the evil empire, against the Patriots. That alone qualifies him for the Hall of Fame because he beat Tom Brady. I'm telling you. It doesn't matter what you say. He beat Tom Brady twice. He's the hero we all needed but didn't deserve.
I hope he gave something real good to both his defenses. I hope he gave something real good to both his defenses.
He probably gave something as good as Tom Brady when Tom Brady gave the truck that he won for a Super Bowl MVP to the guy who caught the interception when Seattle threw the ball instead of running.
Because he knows when somebody does his job.
Yeah.
Does Eli know when somebody does his job?
I mean, so if Eli Manning still... I'm going to go on record and say this. If Eli Manning had never won a Super Bowl and had the same stats he did, he would still be in the Hall of Fame because of his family.
Which I think that's the only reason he's a Dale Earnhardt Jr.
But he won 2 Super Bowls, Brad. At least he did that.
He's a Dale Earnhardt Jr.
We look at...
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. never won any championships.
When you look at a team, more times than not, you identify the team by their quarterback.
I don't know much about him, but I really liked his daddy.
Like, listen, you look at the Steelers, you think Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
Hey, they've had Le'Veon Bell. They've had Antonio Brown.
His brother could sure throw down.
Antonio Holmes. They had Troy Polamalu. I know a lot more about the Pittsburgh Steelers than I ever thought I did.
That's what I'm hearing.
I think it's just because they play him on TV a lot down here.
Well, I tell you, his brother sure couldn't get it done. I like him down there in New York.
I will always say, if you took Peyton Manning and he was your regular season quarterback, and you took Eli Manning and he was your postseason quarterback, you win the Super Bowl every year. Peyton Manning, historically good in the regular season. Eli Manning, when he gets to the playoffs, he finds a way to get it done.
Which is crazy to me. I don't know. Because when he made the playoffs, he had a solid enough team around him to carry him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's a game manager.
What?
And I don't like putting game managers in the Hall of Fame. I think Hall of Fame is for elites.
Well, all right, I can see that. I don't think the Hall of Fame's for the elites, though, for the
Not
people
anymore.
who are voting for the Hall of Fame.
Anymore.
I think the Hall of Fame has become a glorified Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, really.
You know what I like?
What?
You know what I just thought about?
What?
We can switch gears real fast.
Okay, do it.
Baseball.
Baseball.
You know what I love? This day and age, all right? You never thought it would happen. People love A-Rod now and hate Derek Jeter.
How funny is
it? It has...
You know what it is? I don't think the average American cares about steroid issue.
No, I don't.
You know why? Because all they want to do is see the ball hit far, see it hit harder. They want collisions. They want fights. They want the recklessness of it.
Well,
they
I say I don't.
Exciting parts.
I say I don't. I don't to an extent because I think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'd say you put all of them in.
Because they were as good as they were
yeah.
because of steroids. Just a flat without steroids, Barry Bonds is way better than
Have
those
you
two.
seen Barry Bonds before the steroids?
Way better than those two.
But he was like super small, skinny, could barely hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah, but he was a leadoff hitter. He had good average. I mean, he was just a good baseball player.
You're telling
They
me,
weren't great.
You're telling me
He was a great. He wasn't a great slugger. He was a great baseball player.
But he got his,
those two weren't great baseball players. Steroids made them great sluggers.
His prominence came because of the steroids.
Because he became a great slugger. Yeah. I get it, but he was a Hall of Famer before the steroids. He was a great baseball player.
I think you put all three of them in. I 100% do. I could care less about the steroid era. You know why? Because I watched the games every day.
It kept baseball alive.
It kept it alive, and I watched the games every day.
Yeah.
I watched ESPN to see if Sammy Sosa, if Mark McGwire, if
just
Barry Bonds hit home runs.
Barry Bonds was the 2001 season. Yeah. Is that where he went into the 70s?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus.
Like, I remember watching, even like towards the latter end of his career when he was trying to catch Willie Mays in the home run list. I remember watching every night ESPN to see if Barry Bonds hit it. Or, actually, they always played the Giants late at night. So I got to watch some games that I normally wouldn't.
I will say, where my fan bias, it doesn't take over. It doesn't win. Yeah. But I'll tell you where it does. It tugs at me a little bit. It gets me.
Okay.
Hank Aaron not being the home run king. Barry Bonds being the home run king. I don't like it. I understand it.
Hank Aaron
I'll take
endorse it though. Did he not? I think he did. Endorsed it.
So
I think that gives you a pass. Listen,
man,
Hank Aaron.
What a guy.
Gem. God. What a gem. You know, all right, so but whenever he tied the record, right? He had one game to break it before the end of the season, and he failed to break it. The whole summer in between, he received death threat after death threat because he was about to pass a white player to be the home run king.
Yeah.
And he said that he did not think he was going to make it to the next season.
And that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like too. I think he holds a tournament.
Yeah.
Or he does some kind of exhibition for, like, I don't know if it's Little League or high school or what it is, but it's an African-American baseball tournament to help them get exposure, to help them get whatever. And people are like, well, why don't they do that tournament for everybody? Because the other home run kings didn't get death threats in between. Right. That's why.
That's right. And what does it matter? Because every white person out there is exposed to baseball.
Yeah, you know what you can. What you can do.
Listen.
Go do anything you want.
If I had the opportunity, if I ever have a child, if I have a son, and he has the opportunity to play sports, I want to push him to baseball.
Yeah, he's my son's playing baseball.
Make way more money guaranteed, and I'd rather him risk ACL shoulder problems than head injury.
Yeah, my son's playing baseball.
100%. And I'm not going to be that guy who's yelling at my son or yelling at the umps for my son. I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
If my son sucks, I'm like, hey son, maybe we should go get you a tuba.
Yeah.
Let's find something else for you.
You wanna go get a calculator?
How do you feel about competition swimming? Do you like swimming?
I have cousins who swim.
Yeah,
my son can easily go learn it from them.
Yeah,
teach him how to swim because he can't swing a bat.
Yeah.
Help him out.
Exactly. But to think of this, didn't he have a period, it was between 15 and 20 years of straight all-star games for him. It was something like that. It was like some, I think, obnoxious number of all-star games he went to in a row. Yeah. It was during that time period. I couldn't imagine being a black athlete or black baseball player just playing national recognized sports like that in front of people and having them cheer for you in 1 minute, and then outside of the stadium they see you and then they're insulting you, they're throwing things at you, they're threatening you. I couldn't imagine. It's and the thing, some people call them thugs.
Yeah, and then he sets up, and then he has a tournament for other people like him, and people complain about it, and people say, I don't know why he's doing it.
Well,
I don't understand.
Why is there no all white? There is. It's called the MLB.
I don't understand.
90%.
I don't understand why he can have that tournament. I got death threats too. No, you didn't, Kevin. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, Kevin, you didn't do it.
The hell out of here.
Kevin, if you're listening out there, you never lived your life like me.
Let him have the tournament. Shut up.
So, yeah, that's crazy. All right. So, Phillip Rivers to the Colts, 11-4 season, 11-5 season. They played an extra game this year.
12-5. 12 I'm giving them a win, not a loss.
12-5.
I threw a win onto it. Bam.
You know what we should do one day? We should take our favorite teams that we have.
Write them up.
Right? And we
To
should
figure out what they're
actually
doing.
go through and project their upcoming season.
Yeah.
I think that's something we could do, and maybe we could do it with some other teams that people really like.
I think the Panthers are
the
going to be up.
Dallas
The Packers will be down.
Cowboys. We could do the teams that people like. I would be interested in doing it for the Cleveland Browns, actually.
No.
To kind of see if anyone can nail that coffin down there. But
2-15.
no. Case Keenum will get in before that. Like, they're not going to give him.
Yeah, that's why they paid him, because he knows he'll get in before that happens.
Yeah. Or if not, that's a really sweet backup deal.
God, how great would it be if they just have to tear down Baker Mayfield's statue and evict him from the stadium so they can move Case Keenum in?
Hey, at least I like his commercials he does.
Hey, you can't live here anymore,
Yeah,
pal.
sorry. You're out of here.
We thought you could, but we were wrong.
All right. So, Drew Brees re-signs with the Saints.
Yep,
we knew that
obviously.
was going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. He means too much to that organization.
To New Orleans, to the city.
Bringing the Super Bowl when he did, he was staying there no matter what. We talked about Cam Newton's leaving. He has a potential to look for a trade. The Bears are in the market. Jameis Winston's out there for someone to get. The Bears might end up getting him. I'm interested to see what the Patriots do during their quest to find Tom Brady's replacement. I don't want to be that guy because you're going after the GOAT. No one's going to be happy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's going to be strange to see the first Patriots game.
I can actually relate this to local sports. When I was in high school, Georgetown baseball had the legendary coach Mike Johnson. Right, that's who the stadium's named after. He retired. No one after him could ever live up to his shoes.
Yeah.
And so it made it a job no one wanted to
Right.
have. I don't want to be Tom Brady's replacement in New England. All right. But with that being said, Tom Brady does what I say he's going to do. I know we've been joking around saying Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill got his attention. Good for you, Ryan Tannehill, because you're a below average quarterback getting paid more than average.
Getting paid elite money.
Yeah. But
Oh,
Tom Brady leaves New England, signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for $30 million a year. They said the big thing, the reason he didn't re-sign with New England, they only wanted to commit year to year. Tampa was willing to give him the two.
Understandable on New England's part.
Yeah.
Also understandable on Tampa Bay's part.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the second longest postseason drought of any NFL team.
Yep. Gone now.
Hey, yeah, you make it to the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you paid $60 million from Tom Brady.
Yeah,
if he
gone
gets
now.
you to the playoffs, you can lose round one.
That drought's gone.
Hey, you're there. The drought's gone. You have hope and future and promise, and one more year, Tom Brady.
12-5
for the Bucs. 12-5. Do you have them winning that division? Do you have them beating?
I have them going in as a wild card.
You have them losing to, I assume,
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
You think Drew Brees sweeps Tom Brady this year?
No, I think that series goes 1-1.
Yeah.
But I think New Orleans wins a couple more games where it counts outside of the division.
I think that's the key. And what we'll do is, for the next time we podcast, let's pull up the actual schedule for them, and we'll compare them. Because I do think it's that way, because I think both of them are going to. I can see. I don't think either one of them beat each other twice, but I can see them sweeping.
And they end up playing each other in the playoffs. We get a Saints Tampa Bay Drew Brees.
Woo!
We get a Drew Brees Tom Brady, not in the Super Bowl, but in an NFC playoff game.
Where it matters. I can see it.
And no other playoff game, no other team in the NFL can set a stage like the NFC can now.
And then the winner goes on to lose to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen.
Probably.
But Tom Brady makes that decision to leave New England. There are a lot of happy people around.
Before this happened, I thought we were going to get a repeat. I thought we were going to get the first ever back-to-back Super Bowls. I thought we were going to get 49ers.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
I don't think the 49ers were that good. I really don't. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is a lot. I would take Matt Ryan over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Absolutely not.
Matt Ryan, as the quarterback of the 49ers, might win that game.
Ask Belichick what he'd do. He wanted Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. But
has he ever said, give me Matt Ryan?
He's never had that. He can't say that because that's tampering. Like
He'll never say, "Give me Matt Ryan."
He would say, "Over Jimmy G." Come on,
No.
Jimmy G can't deliver a ball down the field. He's a mid-level passer. Jimmy G.
Matt Ryan can't hardly do it either.
He can throw the ball down the field.
But you never know whose hands it's going into. Is the safety going to get it?
The 49ers made the playoffs because of their running and defense, not because of Jimmy Garoppolo. 100% their running backs got them there.
Everything the Falcons did with Julio Jones.
If you don't like... This is
right or wrong.
Listen, this is what
don't you skip what I said.
Because this is what blows my mind.
True or false?
Listen, I will answer your question after mine. What blows my mind is you disrespect Eli Manning, who has 2 Super Bowls, yet you love Jimmy Garoppolo, who has 0, but lived the same life as Eli Manning, and defense and running backs got him to the playoffs, and he lost. Come on, Brett. Get out of here. I'm going to throw this shoe at you.
What's his right now? He's been he wasn't a starter in New England. Was this his first year as a starter? But his record starting games, he was 4-0 for the Patriots. He was 4. So now his
Teddy
record
was 5-0 for the
so now his career record is he's won. He's not to. Let's see. What was the 49ers record this season? Was it where they were 12-4, right?
Oh, yeah, they smacked us.
So now he's 16-4 career so far. Looking pretty good.
I mean, hey, listen, it does. But the division they're in, which everyone thought was going to be the best division in NFL, really was not.
No.
Like
it was even the Seahawks.
And the
Seahawks were shaky.
They struggled.
The Seahawks were shaky.
You know, and then the Rams, talking about a letdown.
The Rams are gone.
Now, fantasy numbers, great. I won a fantasy league.
The Rams are gone.
I won a fantasy league with Jared Goff, the Cooper Kupp, the running back from Georgia. What was his name? What's that running back?
Gurley. Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
And then I picked up another wide receiver for them, and I won a fantasy league because of them. But
they're gonna finish. Garbage. They're gonna finish last this year. Listen, the Cardinals are gonna be better than they are.
Hey, the Cardinals. What a trade.
Yeah.
What a trade. Now your quarterback's got no reason to, if he doesn't do well this year, get rid of the guy.
What they get? They got Hopkins for 2 jock straps and a helmet.
Something like that. Yeah, or 1 jockstrap and a pair of helmets.
Yeah.
It's just. God,
I'll give you a cleat for him, just one, not a pair of them. Yeah, and Texan said, "Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll take it." Yeah, Bill O'Brien's stupid.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
100%.
We'll take that trade.
Yeah, golly, man, what a great time this has been. Just talking about what's been happening in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
I am so excited that we have something to talk about, and there's plenty of more things we could have said. If you want to hear us talk about maybe your team in particular, what they're doing on the fantasy front line. Oh, before I go, let's make the Dallas Cowboy fans happy. All right, Amari Cooper turned down more money to go to Washington, and instead he takes the hometown deal, 5 years, $100 million to stay with the Cowboys.
Woo!
I think Amari Cooper's top 5 receiver.
Yep.
I 100% think he is.
Me too.
I think it's hey, kudos for you. Also, getting paid, but your quarterback still isn't.
Yeah. And I don't think he is. I think he's not going to be I don't think he's not going to be I don't think he's going to be a Cowboys quarterback. I don't think he sits out because I don't think that's the type of guy he is.
They have till July to give him an extension, or the franchise tag goes throughout. I think if you're out there listening, okay, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm sorry that you live the life that you live. Mm-hmm. But Dak Prescott, if you're out there listening to us, which I know you're not, but in my fantasy, in my head, you're listening. You love the Walrus and Comic Sports Report. But if you're listening to me, sit out. Say, hey, Jerry Jones.
You're not going to.
Listen. But actually, I can't even say that he's doing the right thing. Dak Prescott turned down a deal that was almost $30 million a year.
He's gonna play, but I think if this franchise tag sticks, he's gonna play his last year and he's going somewhere else. Yeah. He's all right. We're done here.
But Amari Cooper makes that decision, stays with the Cowboys. He gets paid. Hey, good job, Amari Cooper. But yeah, Brett, so we've had the opportunity to kind of look at some of all this stuff unfold. We've done this recording like 2 times.
Yeah.
So this bonus episode is like super bonus.
It kept feeling like we did it early.
I literally had to come back-to-back days and to Brett's house to make this recording happen because the first time we did it, hey, this seems really good. This is awesome. And
then, we went home and news started breaking.
Yeah, get home and you see Phillip Rivers going to go to the Chargers. Teddy Bridgewater going to go to the Panthers. Tom Brady not coming back to New England. How could we not just scrap the old one and give you this one? Because there was so much to digest from this period of NFL football. And by God, it was the only thing we had to digest. And we're staying away from WWE this episode, which I know you love. But we can talk about them in a later date because that's a whole debacle right now.
We'll see what happens.
It just blows my mind. But guys, we hope that you enjoyed the podcast today whenever you watch it or wherever you listen to it on recording. It's been a great opportunity for us to come and talk to you. A few reminders. Go to check us out on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Walrus and Comic Sports Report. You can like us on Facebook. You can share our videos or share our files. Guys, help us get the word out there.
That's right.
This is just an opportunity for us. Like right now, we're doing this because we love sports and we want people to know what we're talking about. And we want other people to enjoy it. So help us out with that. Like us on Facebook. So like us on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel and hit that like. Subscribe to us. Make sure you don't miss any updates. We got a lot of exciting things coming to you guys. And it's going to be an opportunity, I think, now that free agency is still going on. So there's going to be more stuff to talk about.
Yep.
The coronavirus is running rampant through schools.
And we're going to be here every week.
And we're going to be here every week for you. And if I can't be here because he's quarantined, I will do it from my house.
That's right.
And we'll just make this happen through like phone or something. Like Brett can put his phone on speaker and I'll be talking to my phone and we will make this happen for you guys. So just once again, thank you. Brett, you said no open mics or anything?
No open mics right now. Everything is the comedy clubs, the bars, obviously not doing much. I think they're all starting to close down. So we got nothing going on right now except the podcast. And, everybody else, I assume, has not much going on in the world we're in right now. So it's a good opportunity to listen to the Walrus and the Comic Sports Report podcast.
That's right. I am the Walrus, Ron Terry. This is the comic, Brett Howard. We will see you next time.
Bingo.